meaning it like.
Talk TV. This is Sports Talk TV, and I'm your host Dale, and I'm here to recap or talk about the Boston Celtics versus the Washington Wizards Game 7, and great game. You know, it was a great game. It was a lot at stake. It looked very close till probably the end of the fourth. Then Boston started taking away. I'm going to talk about Washington first, since I did pick them to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and beat Boston. And then I'll talk about the winning side, Boston. Let's get to the loser side, which sucks. Let's talk about the Washington Wizards. You know, the Wizards were in it until the end of the fourth, where their defense collapsed, and I think I know why that their defense collapsed. I think when there was part of the game where Scott Brooks, the head coach of the Washington Wizards, he put in Jason Smith and Ian Mahimi in at the same time. I don't really know about that because ever since he put them in, Al Horford and Kelly Olynyk has been getting bucket after bucket after bucket, you know, getting money, getting cash, and they had no answer for them. And the momentum rode Boston throughout throughout the game. So I thought that might have changed the game. That might be the climax of the game. But let's talk about Washington side. John Wall. John Wall had a terrific Game 6. You know, he hit that game shot, that clutch 3-pointer that let the Wizards win. He didn't really have a good game in my opinion. Like he had 13 points. He had a damn good first half. He had 13 points in the first half, which is pretty good. It's really good. But in the second half, he just completely flew away. Like he was executing, but then he wasn't. So like he wasn't hitting a shot. Like he took the most shots besides Bradley Beal, but he just wasn't falling in. And you know, this is Game 7. You gotta hit those shots, especially when you're the best star of the team. He had 18 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds, which, if you say for any ordinary player, is a pretty good stat line. But for a superstar and the best player on the team, that's pretty decent. That's decent. That's below average. You know, like you got especially in Game 7 when you're away. You gotta do better. You know, you gotta do better, or else the team's not gonna look at you going forward. But you know, I just didn't really think that John Wall had it in him. You know, like in the first half, he was feeling all good and stuff. Then in the second half, it just wasn't there. But Bradley Beal, his backcourt mate, carried that team, and he had a great game. 38 points, just wasn't enough. Bradley Beal. So here's what I think right now. Is Bradley Beal the best player in the Wizards? Because I know you guys say, like, sports, you're crazy. There's no way that he's the best player on the Wizards. They have John Wall, and an argument could be said that Gortat. I would say Gortat is better than Beal, but he's more experienced. So there's no way Bradley Beal is the best player on the Wizards over John Wall. And you're right. But when you look at Game 7, and when the team looks at you to win the game, John Wall wasn't there, but Bradley Beal was, and you can't have that, you know, because if you have one of those games that the team's not gonna look at you going forward, like when you need a huge shot or a huge pass or huge clamps on defense, they look to you, But when it's taken over by another good player in Bradley Beal, then it's just gonna go haywire. It's gonna go down for you. I really did like the performance by John Wall. Really liked the performance by Bradley Beal, but it wasn't enough. And it's not just John Wall. You guys might think that I'm a John Wall hater. No, it's not just John Wall. Marcin Gortat, 33 minutes, 6 points. 6 points and 10 rebounds. Not good. I mean, the 10 rebounds, you expect him to have 10 rebounds. He's a big man. But 6 points and 0 assists, assists doesn't matter, but 6 points at 33 minutes. That is terrible. That is so bad. If you're a Gortat, you gotta do better. He wasn't good defensively at all. He could have guarded Al Horford. and he couldn't guard Amir Johnson. Not a great performance by Gortat. Not a great series for Gortat either. I mean, like, an argument could be made, maybe Game 5 or Game 4, he did pretty good. But in my opinion, it wasn't a good series. Like, Gortat is decent. Like, he's close to solid. He's decent, in my opinion, as a player. He's just decent. Some people call him solid. I don't think he's even near close to solid. Gortat's just decent, but he didn't show up in the series. He didn't show up in the first round against Atlanta. But when the team, when it gets tougher and tougher as it will, you gotta step up and improve. And that wasn't happening for Gortat. So Gortat had a very bad game. Markieff Morris had 18 points, 10 rebounds. Pretty good, but, if you're trying to win, you might need 20 or more. Otto Porter had 20. He had a good game. The one thing about the Wizards, in my opinion, is their bench. Their bench is not good. It sucks. I mean, for a playoff team, their bench pretty sucks. Because no one from their bench, no one couldn't give them support. I mean, if you're coming off the bench, you gotta give support. But there was none. Bojan Bogdanovic, 5 points. Other than that, the rest of the players had 0 points. 0 points. That's unacceptable from the bench. 0 points? Game 7 in the second round? And look, and an argument could be made that this team is better than Boston. God damn, sorry guys. Something in my mouth. Whoa. Anyways, an argument can be made that this team is better than Boston, but bench-wise, Boston kills them at every single thing. I mean, like, there's a Wizards bench that, like, look at here. They saw their mid-season acquisitions, Bojan Bogdanovic and Brandon Jennings. Bogdanovic, 5 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound, 16 minutes. Brandon Jennings, 0-0-0 in 6 minutes. Ian Mahinmi, who had a 4-year, $64 million deal with the Washington Wizards. Terrible deal. That's a deal that you could give to Kevin Durant. That's a deal you could give to Ryan Anderson. That's a deal you could give to LeBron James. But Ian Mahinmi, no. And speaking of him, 0 points, 1 assist, 0 rebounds. Yeah, that's $64 million player, alright. Jason Smith didn't get that much playing time. I didn't think he should get that much playing time because he had 0-0-0 and the rest just 0-0-0. So obviously the Wizards bench is not good, as you guys could think. The Wizards bench is not good. And if this team is going to be a championship contender, a title contender, they need to fix their bench. That's what they're going to do the offseason. I believe Bogdanovic and Jennings are free agents. They got to re-sign Bogdanovic. Porter is a free agent. They got to re-sign Porter. I'm not sure about Brandon Jennings. I mean, Brandon Jennings is not going to go do good anywhere else. Unless he's on a championship team. But this is a championship team. They just don't show it. But in order for this to be a championship contender, you got to have a good bench. And Bojan Bogdanovic or Jennings, they're solid. But Ian Mahinmi, you paid $64 million. Obviously, he's going to stay. Jason Smith, Kelly Oubre, who got a fight with Kelly Olynyk. It's just not enough. This bench is not good at all. You gotta fix your bench at the offseason if you want to be a championship contender. And Washington, they had a pretty good game, but like I said, at the end, they just fell off. They just fell off, and you can't have that. I picked this team to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But let's talk about that. Let's just talk about Boston since I'm rambling about Washington. Let's talk about the winner's side, and let's talk about Boston. So the Boston Celtics get the win. I didn't see this happening. Nobody saw this happening because, at their first round match against the Chicago Bulls when they were down 2-0, many thought they would get swept till Rondo got injured. Boston changed their lineup, and they won 4 straight. And I still thought that they were going to lose to Washington because they got lucky. But it didn't seem to be happening unless Washington, people on the Celtics actually stepped up, not in this game, this whole series. Such as Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Kelly Olynyk, who had 26 points in Game 7. Huge performance by Kelly Olynyk. Al Horford, Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Amir Johnson. These guys are stepping up when you need them to. And that's how you win championships. That's how you win playoff games. Gotta let these guys step up, and that's what they do. Isaiah Thomas, 29 points. This guy's good. I mean, if you guys don't know who he is or you don't think he's good, what do you do with your life? I mean, this guy's an MVP candidate. And he's put out 29 points. He puts up 30 points every single game, and he's 5'9"? That's crazy. And it's so funny with this jump shot. Like, he springs up like 30 inches from the ground, and he makes it. I don't know. I don't know if he gets tired off that. Seems like he does in Mr. Fourth Quarter. He stepped up to the Kelly Olynyk, as I mentioned. A surprise performance. The same guy who got into a fight with Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre kind of looks like XS10 but we're not here to talk about that. He put up 26 points. Good stuff from Kelly Olynyk. And you already know Boston's going to need this from him when they verse Cleveland, but we'll talk about that. Marcus Smart had 13 points. Bradley had 9 points, but he's a really good defender. Don't let him get eyed by John Wall Fully. He's a good defender. Jay Crowder, solid game. Al Horford, a good game. This is a good game. This is a good team. And now they're advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, do I think you guys are going to beat the Cavaliers? No. I'm sorry, no. Are you capable of it? Yeah, you are. And here's why, because you have the home court advantage. You do realize that they are the number 1 seed. Not a lot of people realize that the Boston Celtics are the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed. And I think home court advantage could take a advantage of this for Boston, but then again, the same thing happened 2 years ago with they were versus the Atlanta Hawks. A lot of people having the Atlanta Hawks winning the series because of home court advantage. Cleveland without Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love swept them. So, but I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think Cleveland's going to sweep Boston. I think that Boston will take at least 2 games, maybe 3, but I'm sticking with 2 games. Getting swept or 5 games, it doesn't sound right. So it just doesn't sound right. But I would say Boston win this series. They are capable of it. The only time they're going to win the series is if LeBron's injured, not just Kyrie, Kevin Love. Is if LeBron's injured. LeBron's injured. Oh, it's an easy ticket to the NBA Finals. But I don't think you guys are not going to beat Cleveland. But you guys are capable of, and this will be a good series. First of all, this will be a good series. Boston's been surprisingly they've been exciting, but it's so annoying, irritated. Like they were down 2-0 against Boston, they won 4 straight, came back. Not a lot of people saw that. I think some NBA Alex saw that coming, but I didn't. I thought they were gonna lose to Washington. A lot of people did, but they didn't. And they took 7 games to it, and this should be a really good series, but at the end, I expect the Cleveland Cavaliers to win because, they have LeBron James, so I expect the Cavaliers to win it, but, it'll be a good series to watch, and yeah, and that will be all. Washington, this hurts, this hurts. But this might take a lot of regret. But all you could do is get stronger next season. Work on the off season, of course. Fix your bench and improve and get stronger. And I mean, this is a good team. This is a really good team in the future. But they just need to fix their pieces, fix their problems, and they'll be a really good team. So yeah, that's it. That's my analysis on the recap of Boston defeating the Washington Wizards 115-105 in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals. What are you guys' thoughts? Comment down below. Leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Until next time, this is Sports. Until next time, this is Sports Take TV. Oh my god, what am I doing? Anyways, that's all, guys. Peace.